All right, let's just get right into it. I want you to forget everything you think you know about what it takes to be successful. We're about to dive into the absolutely brilliant and kind of counterintuitive wisdom of the creative genius Paul Arden. His book isn't about learning more skills, not really. It's more like a manual for completely rewiring your ambition to change your entire path.
And he kicks things off with this bombshell right here. I mean, wow. If success isn't really about raw talent, or your education, or how charming you are, then what on earth is it about? Well, Arden argues that the most powerful people out there get to where they are for one simple reason. They decide they want it. That's it. That single-minded desire is the core idea we're going to explore.
And that brings us right to what he calls the ambition advantage. Seriously, his entire philosophy is basically built on this one premise, that raw, focused ambition is always going to take you further than natural talent ever could.
Which, leads to this question for you, for all of us. How good do you actually want to be? Do you want to be good, very good, or do you want to be the absolute best? Your answer to that question is everything, because it's what determines the sacrifices you're willing to make. See, a lot of people want to be good, but very, very few are prepared for what it really takes to be great.
Everything starts right here. According to Arden, your most powerful tool, the greatest asset you have, is a crystal clear, almost audacious vision of your future self. It's not about where you are right now or what your limitations seem to be. It's about aiming so far beyond what seems possible.
I mean, just listen to this story Arden shares about Victoria Beckham. She didn't say she wanted to be as famous as another singer. No, she chose a laundry detergent. Now, it sounds strange, right? But it's a highly original goal, and that's precisely why it was so powerful. A unique vision like that just sets you completely apart from everyone else.
And this kind of explains why the quote-unquote smartest kid in class doesn't always win in the long run. School rewards you for knowing stuff from the past, for accumulating facts. But real-world success, as Arden argues, belongs to the people with that relentless desire to conquer the future. They just keep going and overtake the ones who think they're done learning.
Okay, but just having that ambition isn't quite enough. To really act on it, you need to adopt a totally new set of rules. Some pretty unconventional ones that are going to rewire your fundamental beliefs about how the world even works.
And here is one of the biggest and maybe toughest mental shifts that Arden proposes. When something goes wrong, blame no one but yourself. Now, why would you do that? Because accepting total responsibility, even when it's not 100% your fault, puts you in a position of incredible power. If it's your fault, you're the one who can fix it.
And what does that mean? It means you have to eliminate the excuses. We've all heard these, right? Maybe we've even used them. The brief was terrible, there wasn't enough money, the client ruined it. But Arden points out these aren't disasters, they're just the everyday landscape of any job. Successful people don't see them as roadblocks, they just see them as part of the course to navigate.
Now here's another one that's going to feel a little weird at first. Don't seek praise, seek criticism. Look, praise feels good, we all love it, but all it really does is confirm that your work is okay. It keeps you comfortable. But actively seeking out criticism, asking people, hey, what's wrong with this? That's the only way you're ever going to push your work from just being acceptable to being truly exceptional.
Arden also just comes right out and attacks the whole idea of hoarding your best ideas. If you cling to them, you're just living off reserves and you're thinking it's stale. But if you give them away, just put them out there freely, you force yourself to constantly find new ones. You stay fresh, you stay sharp, and somehow, creativity just seems to reward that kind of generosity.
So if all the old rules don't really work, what's next? Well, it's not just about playing by different rules. It's about learning to embrace the one thing most people are terrified of, the incredible power of being wrong.
Think about it. The last time you were truly stuck on a problem. Arden says it's almost always because you're constrained by these invisible, unspoken rules. The only way to find that breakthrough is to figure out what those assumptions are and then deliberately, consciously break them.
And this right here is the mindset shift. You see, being right feels safe, but it's based on the past, which is already out of date. It closes your mind. But being wrong, on the other hand, well, that pushes you into the unknown. It demands you take risks, it opens up all kinds of possibilities, and it can lead to absolutely amazing results.
Or, to put it even more bluntly, you just can't innovate without taking risks, and you can't take risks without making some mistakes along the way. Failure isn't the opposite of success, it's a totally necessary ingredient.
So the big takeaway here is just let go. Stop worrying so much about looking smart all the time. The path to a real breakthrough often runs right through playful, illogical, and even really silly ideas. That's where all the unexpected stuff is hiding.
Okay, so you've rewired your ambition and you've embraced this new mindset. Now what? How do you get the world to actually see it? This final piece of the puzzle is all about perception and how you can make it your reality.
Just look at this example. It's so good. Same person, totally different perception. Simply changing pump attendant to petroleum executive, or adding an S to make a solo architect sound like a whole firm. It changes everything. It's about presenting yourself not as you are right now, but as you fully intend to be.
Because it really does all start with you. If you perceive yourself as a major player, as a winner, and you project that confidence, eventually the world will have no choice but to start seeing you that way too.
And Arden is, let's be real, brutally honest about this. A super talented person buried deep inside a big company might as well be invisible. But a student with a great business card who just projects authority can be accepted as one. It's a hard truth for sure. Visibility often trumps quiet, hidden talent.
And this idea applies to literally everything. A presentation, an interview, a pitch. People remember visuals, they remember energy, not just a list of words. A striking, memorable performance is infinitely more powerful than just relaying information. They won't just remember what you said, they'll remember you.
Arden includes this quote from Churchill, and honestly, it just perfectly sums up the kind of resilience you need to live by these principles. It's a journey, right? It's about trying, failing, learning from it, and trying again, all while keeping that same ambition and energy you started with.
And that brings us right back to where we started, with the question thrown back at you. You know, hearing about all this is one thing, but actually applying it is a whole other game. It requires a decision. So, after all this, how good do you really want to be?